Heyo, what's good reader fam? Welcome back to my channel. It's time for another reading vlog, and today's reading vlog is a reading and writing vlog because I'm gonna get back into the writing game this week. It's gonna happen. This pullover is so noisy. Can you hear it every time I move? I'm just like, I can hear myself moving around. It's really annoying. I can make music with this thing. Yeah, we making music. Really obnoxious music. I feel like my reading plans for this week are super random, but I'm kind of okay with that. First book that I'm going to be reading is The Wangs vs. the World by Jade Chang. I kind of impulse bought this the other day on Amazon, which I'm not proud of. Like, I have so many books that I could be reading on my shelf and I had to go and buy a new book, but I am going to be forcing myself to read this book this week. That way it doesn't just sit on my shelf collecting dust. I'm not going to let that happen. I'm not having it. Not on my watch, that's invisible. This is an adult contemporary story, and we follow this immigrant family living in America, and they're super rich one day, and then the next day they just lose all their money. They kind of went from rags to riches back to rags. That would really suck. So the family has no choice but to pile up into this car, take a road trip to the oldest daughter's house because they have nowhere to live, so they gotta live with the oldest daughter. The description makes it sound really funny. It sounds like their road trip's gonna be kind of chaotic, which I'm here for. I'm looking forward to seeing where this book goes. I know it seems super random that I'm reading this book, but this is the year where I'm kind of trying to spice up my reading life, add in some new stuff here and there. I don't want to only be reading young adult books this year, and this is an adult contemporary story, so look at me go. Be killing the reading game this year, which honestly I don't really know if I'm gonna keep up reading kind of more of a variety of books. I really hope that I'm able to, but I have a tendency to fall back into my young adult ways, which isn't a bad thing necessarily because I also still want to keep reading books that I know I'll enjoy. Anyway, I need to stop rambling about this. I love that I just rambled about that because I'm also going to be reading a young adult book this week. I'm also going to be attempting to reread Crooked Kingdom this week, which is the second book in the Six of Crows duology. To be fair, while this book is young adult, it feels more adult to me. These characters do not read as teenagers. Especially Kaz Brecker, there is no way that he is a teen. I've wanted to reread this book ever since I first read it because when I first read it, I rushed through it. I didn't take my time with it and enjoy it. But I'm excited to reread this because I feel like there's a lot of things that I missed. I think another big reason why I want to read this book is because King of Scars. I want to reread this before I get to that book. So that's my reading plan for this week. As for writing, I have plans to get back into the writing game. I'm super excited about it. Something that I've realized with the story that I'm going to be working on is the fact that I know the beginning, I know the ending, I just don't know the middle portion. Like, I need to really flesh out that middle portion. So this week I'm going to be kind of outlining, I guess you could say. I don't really know if I'm a fan of outlines because I feel like I let them restrict me too much. So this is going to be a loose, very loose outline, and I'm gonna have to keep reminding myself that just because I put it in the outline doesn't mean it has to stay that way. I can change the story as I go, because I'm the kind of person whereas when I plan out something I'm like, it must go this way, I can't change it, when that's not right at all. You can change it as you go. I need to like write that on my forehead or something. We're currently in my bed. I don't know how well this is gonna go. I have my tripod on my bed, and I don't know if it's gonna shake the whole time I film this. Hopefully it doesn't. I'll try not to move though. I had these inspirational quotes on my window next to my bed because I liked having them there so when I woke up I could see that when I first woke up. So that way when I woke up I would be hit with some positivity. But I woke up this morning and had these just laying next to my head, so I guess at some point during the night I just ripped them off and just sat them right next to my head. I don't know what happened last night, but apparently I got pretty angry at these inspirational quotes. I've been kind of meaning to take them off anyways because they're not that visually pleasing, so I got the job done in the night, I guess. I have a reading update for you guys. I've been reading The Wangs vs. the World. It's kind of just okay so far. I don't know how I really feel about it. Something positive that I have to say about it is that I really like the dynamics within the family because there's so many interesting family dynamics. They're not the most loving family out there. I really like seeing that perspective. It's not necessarily like a broken family because I feel like we see broken families a lot in contemporary stories, but this one is more so that the family isn't really that close. I guess the three siblings are pretty close, but then there's like the stepmom and the dad that the three siblings aren't really that close to, so that dynamic is really interesting. And I feel like the reason for that is because the father has always kind of focused more so on the business side of his life. Like, he's always been really focused on getting more money, making all these big business deals, and in doing that he kind of sacrificed getting to know his kids and like really being involved in their lives. So far it's not as funny as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was going to be hilarious, and it's just kind of like, okay, like there's some funny moments, but they're not like ah ha 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 They're just like, oh, that was pretty comical. But it also could be the fact that my humor and this book's humor just don't mix and mash. Also, a lot of the characters have been doing and saying a lot of questionable things, and I just don't know how to feel about that yet. I'm thinking that I just need to give this book more time, keep reading, and see where it goes. So far, I'm kind of up in the air about it. I feel like everybody hates my hipster goat. Every time he makes an appearance in a video, I get people going, what the heck is that? It's a freaking hipster goat, and it has a name, it's Henry. Though my friend Henry won't be living on this wall for much longer because I'm gonna change up this background here pretty soon, so sorry, Henry. I have a reading update for you guys. I'm about like 50 pages from the ending, so I've gotten pretty far. Not really loving this book. I feel like I know my rating at this point, unless these last 50 pages wow me. I'm kind of leaning towards a 2.5. If that gives you any kind of indication as to how I feel about this book, I'm gonna start out with a positive here. Something that I have really enjoyed is kind of some character growth. There are certain characters, not every character, but certain characters have been showcasing some great character growth. Specifically, there's a situation with the sister, and she continues to find herself in this really complicated situation, and by the end of this book she's kind of figured out a way to kind of break free of that, and I really liked seeing that. But on the other hand, the things that I'm not liking about this book, one, it is dragging. It is dragging, like it's taking its time to get to the end, and I get that not every book can be super fast-paced and exciting, but this one I feel like is dragging way too much, and it really could have used some scenes edited out of it. There was also just something super bizarre and just wild that happened in this book, and it just made no sense to me. I don't understand its context in the plot. I mean, sure, maybe the last 50 pages it'll click with me and I'll be like, ah, that's why that was in there, but I really don't think that's gonna happen. I wanted to talk about this new journal that I've started. I currently have like 3 journals going. One that's a reading journal, which I talked about in my last vlog. I have another one that's just a personal journal where I just write about random crap that happens to me. And then this one that I started, which is one that I'm just going to fill with childhood stories. I didn't journal growing up, which is something that I really regret. I really wish that I had some kind of documentation of the different things that I went through growing up, but I have none of that. Anyway, I've just been thinking about all these different things, all these different stories that have happened to me growing up, and so I decided to start a journal to fill up with those stories. To be honest, a lot of the things so far that I've remembered are like really awkward or uncomfortable stories, and they mostly hit me when I'm trying to fall asleep at night, and then I can't fall asleep because I'm just overthinking the situation that happened like 10, 11 years ago. So I kind of thought that keeping a journal for those stories would help me when I can't fall asleep. I can just get up, write down the story, and hopefully it'll help me fall asleep. I'll share with you the first story that I wrote in here because it's not like an awkward story or anything, but it is the reason that I have an issue with cats to this day. So one day I went to get the mail and somehow a cat got inside our house. I'm not a cat person. I wasn't raised on cats. I always had a dog as a pet, so I don't mind them. I just don't know really how to interact with them. The shoe get out method did not work for me, so my only other option was to pick up the cat and take it outside. At first it didn't seem to mind me picking it up, but then without warning it full on attacked me. I was holding it around my waist level down here, but it somehow managed to get up here on my head level, and it plunged its claws into my face and gave me this purr growl combo right in my face, like causing a surge of anxiety to fill up my body. I finally managed to get the cat outside and on the ground safely, and now I have cat trust issues. That's the story. So yeah, I'm gonna be using this to fill up a bunch of different stories. Maybe over time I'll share different stories with you guys in my vlogs, but I feel like a lot of them I just can't share because they're too embarrassing and I don't want anybody to know about them. I've got another reading update. I finished The Wings vs. the World by Jade Chang. Unfortunately, I did not like this book and I'm really upset that I didn't like it. I wanted to love it and it just didn't happen. Ah! I feel like I say that every time I read a book and I'm disappointed by it, but who wants to read a book and hate it? Not me. Not to say that I hated this book because I didn't hate it. Obviously there was something I liked about it enough to keep reading it and finish it, but for the most part it just wasn't for me. And I have started Crooked Kingdom, and guys, it feels so good to be back in this world. I love this world so much. I love these characters specifically. I'm really interested to see how I feel about Crooked Kingdom this second go around, because the first go around I didn't love it as much as I loved Six of Crows. So I'm really curious to see if my reread of this book will change my mind at all. That's the update. That's the tea. Sip, sip. I have a writing update for you guys. It's been a while since I've updated you on my writing. It's really probably not that exciting of an update, but I'm gonna update you anyways. I feel like I should start by telling you which project I'm working on, because I have a really bad habit of jumping from project to project to project. It's not a good writing method I have. I would not follow my lead. I would stick to one project, bang it out, and then move on to the next project. But I'm currently working on the contemporary story that I started back in 2017, I wanna say. And then I stopped working on it beginning of summer 2018. It's a contemporary story, and a big reason as to why I even shelved it at the beginning of summer of 2018. It's based off of something that happened in my life, and that chapter of my life kind of closed at the beginning of summer of 2018. I really love the story and I really love the characters, but I feel like I needed time away from that book because of how much it was influenced by this certain thing in my life. Ah, don't you guys just love when people are so vague like this? I think it was beneficial to kind of step away from it. While I have already written a good chunk of the story already, I decided to kind of go back to the drafting stage and like really work out my story, because I feel like some things have changed. The story now has 4 perspectives when originally it only had 2 perspectives, but I feel like adding in these 2 other characters is really gonna shape the story into something completely different, and it's gonna add a little oomph to the story, make the plot a little more interesting. I am a little worried though, because this is a young adult story and I do have 2 characters that are like 17 and 18, but then I have these 2 new perspectives that came in. One of them is in their mid-30s and then one of them is like 25. So I don't know if that's really gonna screw up the story or not, but I'm just gonna keep going with it and see what happens. So right now I am just kind of writing down the different plot points. This week I'm focusing in on just one of the characters, then next week I'll focus in on the next character, so on and so forth. The complication that I'm facing right now is just kind of weaving their stories together, because it is one of those situations where you're introducing all these different characters and then at some point all the stories kind of connect together. So getting the timing of everything is just really tedious and kind of difficult, but I'm gonna work my hardest to make it work. So that's my writing update. How are you guys doing with your books if you're writing? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm gonna try to work in more about my writing within these vlogs. Let me know if you're okay with that, or if you don't want that at all and you want separate videos for my writing vlogs, let me know in the comments. Having a bit of a bad day. I was originally just not gonna film today, but then I thought that maybe talking about it would help, and also I feel like this could also be a way that we can relate, because not every day is perfect. Not every day can be super happy-go-lucky. I'm lucky in the fact that generally I am usually in a pretty good mental state. I'm usually a pretty happy person. Well, hello Oakley. How are you? Did you come to comfort me? Did you? Anyway, what I was saying is that I'm usually pretty happy. I'm lucky in that fact. I'm lucky in the fact that I'm not always in this bad state of mind. There are days when I am in this bad state of mind, and that's okay. I'm human. I'm allowed to have bad days. The bad days make you appreciate the good days. I'm also just really frustrated with myself for even allowing myself to just like sink into this like bad feeling. There's not a real reason for me to feel this way today, and I should be able to just break through it easily. But for some reason, I just can't break through the fog today. I really want to make it on the other side, but I'm just like stuck in this bad feeling and I hate it. I know some of the things that are kind of playing into it, like 1, I did not get a good night's sleep last night and then I woke up super early. 2, it's been super gray outside and it's not like it's doing anything, like it's not raining, it's not snowing, it's just gray, and the weather really affects me. I know that that kind of sounds silly, but I can take a gray day every now and then as long as there's a few days in there with some sunshine, but we haven't had sunshine in a long time and I miss the sun. The sun makes me so happy and it's just like so sad outside. I hate it. The third thing is everything that I've worked on this morning has just not come together. I've been working on some projects and nothing is working and it's so frustrating. Things aren't going as planned. I can't get things together. It's just not working out and it's messing with me so badly. And then I think my final reason is that last night I did have some like bad thoughts just kind of creep in my mind about how I'm not in the place that I want to be in my life yet. And that's never fun to have those thoughts enter your mind and be like, oh, you should be here in your life, but you're stuck over here. I just hate that so much. I think today I'm just gonna go outside, even though it's a great day. I'm gonna go get some coffee, I'm gonna go on a walk, and I'm just gonna try to just like think through this. I don't want to just stay in this bad state of mind. I want to work through it. I want to get through it, and I know that I will. I know that this will pass really easily, but I don't want to just like sit here in this. I want to like break it. I want to break through the fog. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Hopefully it works because I hate this. So if you're having a bad day, just know that you're not alone and that you will work through this. I'm sorry for this little negative party right now, but I just wanted to be real with you guys.
So you had one of those days when the world don't give you no grace. You'd rather fly away and keep on going higher, but they keep dragging you down. Now if you wish to spread those wings and fly.
Alright, I am ending this vlog on a much lighter note because things are much better. Some days just are bad, and that's okay. You just gotta accept that, and you gotta work through those moments of feeling sucky and just get through it. Don't sit there chilling in it. You need to figure out what's wrong and try to work through it. Obviously, that's coming from a very privileged point of view. Not everybody has the chance to take a moment and kind of figure out what the problem is and work through it. But if you have the chance, you should really do it. So this week, I finished The Wings versus the World. I think I'm gonna end up giving this book a 2.5 out of 5 stars. I didn't like the pacing. I felt like a few scenes could have been taken out. There were some outrageous subplots that I felt like didn't add anything to the story. And towards the end of it, I had this lingering feeling that I just wanted the book to be over, which is never really a good feeling to have. To me, that's a sign that I'm not really enjoying the book that much. There were things that I liked about this book. I liked the writing style. I would totally give this author another go because of the writing style alone. I liked the showcase of character growth. There were definitely a few characters that kind of developed throughout the story and kind of learned from different mistakes they had made. And I really liked kind of one of the themes that was being preached throughout this book, and that's the fact that money isn't everything. Money is beneficial in supporting your life, obviously, but having heaps and heaps of money is not important. It's not really gonna bring you any happiness. So those are just my initial thoughts on this book. Then I got around 245 pages into Crooked Kingdom. I'm obviously loving this book. I love the characters. I love the world. There's already been so many things that have been brought up that I just completely forgot about. Like the fact that I've already read this book and I'm reading it for the second time and I'm still getting shocked at things that are happening is really telling. I'll hopefully be completing this reread in the next vlog. So those are the books I read. I also had some success with writing this week, which makes me really happy, and I'm looking forward to next week with another week of reading and writing. You guys should let me know down below in the comments if you have read either of these books and your thoughts on them. Also let me know down below in the comments a book that you're reading and your thoughts on it so far. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thanks for watching, guys. I hope your day is bright and that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye! -oh!